instances have rekindled the old debate on the crisis of credibility that the media faces. Do people trust what they read in the newspaper or watch on their television screen? Do they believe that the media is still unbiased? Do they consume news for facts and information or for the validation of their opinion? These are questions you'll overhear in perhaps every newsroom around the world. We at WION decided to look at some recent surveys for the answers, and the results were interesting to say the least. In a study released this week by Gallup and the Knight Foundation, 66% of the American respondents said that most news organizations blurred opinion and fact. That's up from 42% in 1984. Fake news was termed a threat to democracy by a majority of respondents, and political affiliation is a major factor in the perception of bias. 67% of Republicans said that they saw, quote-unquote, a great deal of political bias in the news media, and 26% of the Democrats said the very same. Now take a look at a Pew survey that was conducted worldwide. The Indian media scores better than American media in this. The survey found that 80% of its Indian respondents said that reporting by their news organizations was accurate. That's against a global median of 62%, agreeing that news organizations are doing a good job at reporting the news accurately. Only 7% of the Indians believe otherwise. In contrast, a whopping 43% Americans said that their media was not objective and accurate. The US president's war against the media has been one of the central themes of his political agenda so far, but in just 1 year, the fight has become extremely ugly, that too in full public view. Sample these comments made by Trump after he won the election. Here's how he countered the Russian meddling claims.
Go ahead. No, not you. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The ongoing probe into Russia's alleged meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election has been the biggest pain in the neck for Donald Trump. He did not take it lying low, though. He declared war on the press.
Unfortunately, much of the media in Washington, D.C., along with New York, Los Angeles in particular, speaks not for the people, but for the special interests and for those profiting off a very, very obviously broken system. The press has become so dishonest that if we don't talk about it, we are doing a tremendous disservice to the American people. Tremendous disservice.
It only gets worse from here. Since the day Trump took office, he has been hit by a barrage of reports, each one claiming to uncover a new link or throw up more evidence into the Russia meddling investigation. He chose his rallies and tweets to hit back at the media and the reporters who were critical of him. He even refused to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is an yearly event organized by the White House Correspondents Association. No president in recent memory has skipped this event, but the present U.S. president decided to give this party a miss.
I also want to speak to you without the filter of the fake news. The dishonest media, which has published one false story after another, with no sources.
And how can we forget this tweet? In April last year, the U.S. president shared a video on Twitter showing him knocking down and beating up a man whose face has been replaced by the logo of U.S. news network CNN. The actual video is at least 10 years old when President Trump appeared at a wrestling event as a reality TV star. The list is long, and we need the rest of the show and perhaps more to cover all the instances of Trump hitting out at the media. Suffice to say, they were the most by any American president yet, so much so that Trump's attacks ceased to be news after a while. His most recent criticism was against the author of the book Fire and Fury, which revealed embarrassing and potentially damaging details about the early days of the Trump administration. After an effort to stop the release of the book, President Trump has now vowed to rewrite the libel laws of his country.
Our current libel laws are a sham and a disgrace and do not represent American values or American fairness. So we're going to take a strong look at that. We want fairness. You can't say things that are false, knowingly false, and be able to smile as money pours into your bank account.